Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel Know About Embedded System. In today's video, I'm going to explain you how to select a different functionalities of your port pin in a 32-bit microcontroller. That's nothing but LPC1768. So what is this? That I'll explain you in the next slide. So before proceeding to the video, if you are a new user or if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe and gain the knowledge on embedded system. Let us start the video. How to select a pin functions in a 32-bit microcontroller. So what will happen usually if you take any 32-bit microcontroller, if you take example here LPC1768 microcontroller, each port pin will have multiple functions. For example, if you take port 0.0, in the port 0.0 you will have 4 functions. If I take P0.0, this port will have 4, not only 4, depends upon the complexity, the port functionalities will be defined. But example I'm taking here in LPC1768 microcontroller, if you take as an example, each port pin will have 4 different functionality. Each port pin will have 4 different functionality, and how to select those functionality, so that we will discuss now. Okay, so now if you see here, I have port, let us again take example of port 0.0 only here. So let us assume I have port 0.0 and this port 0.0 will have 4 different functions. Here you can see. So I have not given any specific example here, but I have taken generalized use case here. So P0.0 will have 4 different functions: pin function 0, pin function 1, pin function 2, and pin function 3. Like this, the functions will be defined, and by default, pin function 0 will be selected. By default, your pin will be configured as GPIO. That is what we have done programming till now. Till now we have discussed about GPIO. By default, all port pins will have as a GPIO configuration. Okay, now how to select a different function? Let us take example. I want to select pin function number 1 and pin function number 2. How can I do that selection? So for this purpose, in 32-bit microcontrollers, they will have separate block that's called as pin function selection. This block, what you're seeing here, this block is responsible to select any one of the functionality. By default, you know that the GPI will be selected by default, but in the real time, whenever you want to select function number 1 and function number 2, we have to use this function selection. So this function selection will have a different number of registers. For example, there will be something called as PINSEL. There will be a register called as PINSEL X. PINSEL stands for pin function selection, and in this 2 bits will be defined. For each port, for each port pin, for each pin, 2 bits will be defined. For each port pin, 2 bits will be defined. These 2 bits we have to configure as 00, 01 and 10 and then 11. Like this, we have to define, or we have to configure for each port pin. 2 bits are defined, and these 2 bits we have to configure like this: 00, 01, 10 and 11. You can see here by default it is 00. It is going to select function number 0, and when you configure two bits of the respective pin cell, we will configure 01, then function 1 will be selected, 10 function 2 will be selected, and then 11 function 3 will be selected. Okay, so this configuration we have to do in register called as PINSEL X. Okay, there will be a name, there will be a register called as PINSEL. PINSEL stands for pin functionality selection, and in this 2 bits reserved for each pin, each port pin. 2 bits reserved for each port pin, and in that reserved places we have to configure 00, 01, 10 and 11 to select the different functionality. Okay, so in this way we can select a different port pin functionalities with the help of pin function selection. Separate block is defined in the microcontroller, and using this pin function selection we can configure different functions. Okay, now I'll take you to the one use case example. I have here, you can see this is my data sheet, and here you can go to chapter number 8. In the chapter number 8, yeah, here you can see. So this part, table number 75. Okay, so this is a user manual. this about this user manual already I have explained in the previous video. You just watch that. So we will be having a different PINSEL registers, PINSEL 0 to PINSEL 9, PINSEL 0 to PINSEL, totally 10 different pin function selection registers are there. This is what I have explained. So we have to configure 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Then according to the configuration 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 1, 1, different functionalities will be selected. By default, it is going to select as GPIO, then 0, 1 first function, 1, 0 second function, and then 1, 1 third function. Like this, different functions you can select, but only one. Keep in mind, only one function can be selected at a time. It is not possible to select all 4 functions immediately or all together, but only one function will be enabled. Okay. Now I'll take you to the one use case. I want to show you for P0.24, 25 and 26. I'll take you to one example here. Yeah. I want to show you what are the different configurations we have to do for P0.20, 24. So P0.24 I want to configure as analog AD 0.1. Then P0.25 I want to configure as AD 0.2, and then I want to configure P0.26 as AOUT, analog out. AOUT stands for analog output. Okay, so totally 3 examples I'm considering. One, 0.24 as an AD. AD stands for analog to digital converter. This is a short abbreviation for ADC. So 0.24 I want to configure as AD 0.1. Then 0.25 I need to configure as AD 0.2, and then 0.26 I want to configure as AOUT. Okay, so now how to configure, let us see here. So first I'll take example of 24 here. Here you can see these are all the port pin numbers. Currently what you are seeing, the second column talks about port pin number. Okay, so in the what is my request here? Requirement 0.24. So here it is. Okay, I want to configure as a AD 0.1. So if you want to configure AD 0.1, above you can see the function number is 01, right? And what are the bits? You can see PINSEL name they have given. We have to use PINSEL name here. What is the PINSEL name? PINSEL name is PINSEL 1. And what bits we have to use? In the bottom you can see here. So we have to analyze in this way. Okay, for PINSEL 1, for P0.24, I need to configure AD 0.1 when function is 01, and where PINSEL 1, which bits 17 and 16. Okay, so if I write its values here, bit number 17 and 16 should be 0 and then 1. Or you can directly say that function 1. So you have to load function 1. So if you want to configure this one, you have to configure like this. Bits 16 and 17 should be loaded with function 01. Similar to that, I'll take second use case here about the second example for 0.25. Here you can see for 0.25 I want to go for AD 0.2. Same procedure. I need to select function 01. Bits you can see here, bits 18 and 19. So now I'll write it here, 19 and 18, and again function 1. Right? Now the third use case you can see here, I want to go for AOUT. If you want to go for AOUT stands for analog output. Okay, for this use case, function 10 I have to select, and bits you can see 21 and 20. So bits are 21 and 20, and function 2 I have to select, function 2. So in this way we can select different functionalities of your port pins by configuring pin function selection register. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now I will show you same thing in the software. I'll show you in the software how can we configure. Okay. Come back to software here. I have already kept ready. Here you can see I have defined function selection 0 as 0 value, function selection 1 as 1, function selection 2 as 2, function selection 3 as 3. So I just defined a macros here, and then which PINSEL I have to configure. So this also you have to look in PINSEL number 1. The name of the PINSEL pin function selection is PINSEL 1. So PINSEL 1. Now what should I do? I want to configure P0.24 as AD 0.1. So if you want to do that, I'll just keep it together here like this. We will analyze in this way. Yeah, I want to configure P0.24. Here you can see I want to configure P0.24, 0.24. Here you can see as a AD 0.1. So if you want to do that, so here in the code you can see. So this is a column for function 1. Okay, so here you're getting function 1. You can see the same thing I kept. Function selection 1. I kept it. What is the position here? Position you can see it is 16. 16 function number 1. 16 left function number 1 left shift of 16. So this is my first case. Second case you see here. I want to go for 0.25. For 0.25 function selection 1 again, and bit number is 19 and 18. 18 and 19. Here you can see the function selection 18. Right? Similar to that for 0.25. Sorry, 0.26. For 0.26 I had to go for AOUT, analog output, function 2. Here you can see function selection 2, and then what is the pin port bit number? Bit numbers are 20 and 21. So in this way we have to analyze and we have to program it. Okay, I have done already program, and I will show you same thing in the simulator part. Just I'll compile this and I will show you whether this is configured or not. Go to debug window. Here you can see this is my pin connect block, and I will run the code. I'll directly go to 0.24. Here you can see. So what is my requirement? My requirement is this, and my configuration is this. So try to understand what I have requested or what we wanted to do. Here you can see we want to configure this part. Yeah, you can see here P0.24. I want to configure as an analog to digital converters to the channel number 1, that is A in 1 0.1. Then P0.25 AD 0.2, that is nothing but analog input 2, and then 0.26 as A out. Correct, right? So you can see this is what we required. And if you observe other port pins in the same block, you can see here other port pins still they are configured as GPIO. Correct, right? So because we did not configure other port pins, so we have configured only 3 port pins. I hope you are clear with this. So in this way, we can enable different functionalities, or we can activate, or we can select a different functionalities of your port pin using pin function register. Okay, so I hope this video is clear to all. So if you have any questions, you can write to us. You can write a comment to us, or you can write a mail. So with this, I just want to close the video here. Thank you for watching. I'll come up with the next video. Keep on watching our channel, Know About Embedded System, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.